Lesson 4, present your products. This one is going to be very, very short, but I get this question a lot. How do I get product photos? And do I have to create a photo shoot? How much that's going to cost? What is the best way to do it? So I want to get that question out of the way before we move on. Like I explained the lesson multiple times in here, we first want proof of concept before we purchase any stock or put too much time into it. But that's why I have found a strategy which could work for you as well, where you could just arrange photo shoots without too much hassle and very quickly. So basically the strategy is that you can buy your products on Amazon. Basically any products you'll probably sell if you're not selling any custom products. If you're from the Netherlands, of course, you can order it on bol.com, but that's for the Dutchies out there. But if you are international, you can use Amazon. Just buy your product on Amazon and you'll probably get it white labeled. What does that mean? That means that you get your product without any logo or with another logo on it. With this way, you can get the product within 1 or 2 days and you don't have to wait until your supplier sends you a product with your brand packaging and with your logo on it. Obviously, me, myself personally, I do prefer to get a final product which has my logo and my branding on it. But let's say I'm just starting out, I want to start out a brand. If I would just start out a new brand right now, I would just order a product from Amazon, shoot the photos, which I'm going to explain to you right now how you can do that, and then edit my logo on there. Just because it's just much quicker and I want to have results fast. Right now there are 2 options for you. Either you buy the products from Amazon without logo, you edit it on there afterwards, or you of course wait until your supplier sends you a final product with your packaging and your branding on it. And when you've chosen one of these 2 options, I'm going to show you right now where you can get the product photos. So the best place to find photographers, in my opinion, is Upwork. If you haven't seen Upwork yet, don't worry about it. Later in this course, I'll show you how Upwork works, how you can use Upwork, but I wanted to show it to you in advance because it's so valuable. And if we go on Upwork right now, make an account, and you can look up product photography, and literally you can find all kinds of photographers on here, product photographers. You can find even for modeling or anything else. And I can just show you a random product photographer. For example, this girl's from India. I can look at her portfolio. Everything's literally in there. Oh, this girl doesn't have a portfolio. Let me check someone else. But as you see, there are tons of people on here. And this guy from Bangladesh is only $10 an hour. And as you see, he has done a lot of nice shoots. I see he does a lot of photo editing as well. But as you see, there are tons of product photographers on here, pretty cheap. So use Upwork if you want to find product photographers. As you see in here, there are tons of them on there, so there's no scarcity from it. But this can be done pretty cheaply. There are also very expensive ones on there, but there are also pretty ones that are very decent in price. So as you see, you can just look at the portfolio, choose the right one. But I do want to show you a second way, which is much more cheaper and could work better as well. And a second way which you could use as product photography, you can just go on AliExpress and buy this portable light box. I've used it as well. Obviously your product has to fit in that light box because it isn't that big. But let's say your product does fit in there. You can literally just use, like this girl uses on her phone, like this girl shows on here, you can literally just use your iPhone. I've worked with tons of product photographers, and the first thing they always say to me, iPhone is one of the best qualities out there. I mean, if you compare your iPhone quality nowadays, it's even better than Canon most of the times, and it even feels more natural. So don't underestimate the iPhone. If you buy such a light box, you buy a portable light box on AliExpress, it's only $12, you can use it forever and just shoot your product photos with your iPhone. And obviously when you have a product bought from Amazon without logo, you just have to edit it afterwards on there with using Canva, or you have to hire a photo editor. And I mean, you can use Upwork or Fiverr for that. I'll dive deeper into how to find freelancers later, like I said. And I think most of you have an iPhone, and if you have an Android, I wouldn't take you seriously in the first place. I'm just kidding. But if you have an iPhone, you have a good iPhone, you don't need any Canon, you don't need any photographer. Literally most of the photos I've shot for Brightsport are just done with the iPhone. So don't underestimate the iPhone. And that's basically it for this lesson. Use one of the 2 ways, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Ciao. So the last lesson of this module in content creators, and I'm also going to show you how you can reach out to them, what to say to them, how much it's going to cost usually, and also where to find them, which is also very important. in my opinion, is one of the most essential parts before running the ads. Because in our next module, we'll dive deeper into our paid advertising and basically our money printer. But the money printer doesn't work when we put bad fuel into it. And with the fuel, I mean here, the good creatives. As you'll see in the next module, we'll dive into media buying, and you'll see that our media buying strategy is going to be very, very simple. Because our media buying strategy is so damn simple, then it really comes down to the creative. It will all become clear later in the next module, but I really want to emphasize the importance of a good creative. I've literally done millions of dollars of revenue with just one single creative. So please don't underestimate the ROI on getting good content creators in and getting winning ads live. Without winning ads, we cannot run media buying, and it's very hard to succeed. Of course, you need a beautiful website, have a good offer, have a no-brainer deal on your website. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good your website is if nobody comes on your website. And how do people come to your website? Obviously with paid advertising and having a good creative. If it already goes wrong in top of your funnel, and the top of your funnel is obviously the creative, which they see the first time on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. And if it already goes wrong there's where the filter goes wrong and the people don't reach the next level, which is your website. So that's why I packed this one with value. Let's dive right in. So in front of me, I have a cheat sheet, which I already prepared for you, for a content outreach guide, which I'll dive deeper into later, but I'll show you first where to find content creators. I want to make it clear that you can go two ways with your content. First is the UGC, the user-generated content, which I'm gonna dive deep into in this lesson, but I also dive deep into the second way how to do content creation, and that's the way to do professional shoots. So you hire a camera guy, you hire a editor, and you just shoot with a very professional camera. You could have a setup, you could have a whole studio hired out, but those shoots are very expensive. And personally, for my brand, I've done both ways and I've seen both the results from them. So I'm gonna share all the insights in here. So as we're on TikTok, I'm gonna show you how you can find good content creators. Basically what I do, I'm just on the TikTok homepage and I just look up some keywords which you can find content creators for. So for example, let's say I'm selling clothing, right? I'm selling clothing, I have a clothing brand. I can just type in, for example, right? Be creative about the keywords. But for example, I can type in try on haul. That's a nice keyword where you can find a lot of creators for. So here I'm on try on haul. I see a lot of girls, obviously. Oh, my Siri goes off. But as you see, I find a lot of girls, and this girl is trying on the viral Amazon bodysuit. And she is obviously sponsored by Amazon. I mean, why would you put in the Amazon here in your caption and so big in your video? So here we have a content creator already. We can go to her profile. She isn't even that big. As you see, she only has 1,400 followers and she creates a lot of pretty high quality content, which I already see. Obviously, I didn't dive very deep into it, but you see that she creates content for brands, so she is probably open for collaborations. And obviously this girl wouldn't fit our case study in here, which are portable blenders. So I could use a different keyword. For example, I could just put in fitness products and I would find tons of fitness videos in here. I can just scroll through and as you see, I see a lot of them have over 1 million views. And all of these people are potential content creators. You gotta realize it. Just scroll through TikTok like you always do. You'll probably scroll through TikTok already the whole day. Well, better make good use of it. So I already saw a content creator which already does a pretty similar product to ours. As you see in here, this girl, TikTok made me buy it, she's saying. Amazon Fights 2022 I see, but this product looks pretty similar to the products that we're trying to sell, right? The portable blenders. So here we already found our first content creator. I mean, she seems to create pretty good content because her video got 111k views, likes even, so millions of views on her video. And I see it's a brand which is posting it. And the brand does pretty look like the product that I'm selling. So you could take inspiration from it, obviously. As you see, there are tons of content creators on here. And even content creators, I'm already finding content creators which are selling similar products to ours. So use TikTok for sure. TikTok, you're already using it, so make better use of it. So another thing I wanted to show you next to finding content creators on TikTok is using Facebook ad library. You've probably seen Facebook ad library multiple times coming back into this course. If you haven't seen it, you probably didn't pay attention. So please pay attention right now. As you see in here, I'm on Facebook ad library. I'm on the Facebook ad library from HiSmile. And I see that they are running a lot of ads, obviously. I showed you before how to spot a winning ad. And if you didn't pay attention, again, you didn't listen, but I showed you how to find a winning ad, and I'm gonna try to find a winning ad again. For example, here we have one. We found one which is running 27 ads right now, and 27 ads use this creative and text right now. So obviously it is for a reason that they are scaling up this ad so hard. We can look at the video, take inspiration from it, obviously. But as you see, this creative is obviously working. So there's a reason why this creative is working so well for them. And my point here is, you don't have to reinvent the wheel completely yourself. I mean, if you are taking inspiration from these brands anyways, also look up their ads, look what kind of creatives are working well for them, see what kind of content works well for them, what kind of angles are they using. As you see in here, they use something which is called front loading. Front loading basically means that you are putting the best part of the ad in the beginning as a hook. Then we can hook the potential viewer immediately with the first 3 seconds. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you the first tip already. The first 3 seconds are most important in a creative. Because you gotta realize, if you're scrolling on TikTok as well, you probably just scroll, right? You don't watch a video until the end. And that's the issue. Most viewers, most potential buyers don't watch the video until the end. So you gotta get them hooked in the first 3 seconds already. How do you do that? Have a great thumbnail and have a great attention grabbing 3 seconds. The first 3 seconds are most important, I'm telling you. Of course, the ending is also very important, having a great call to action in the end to lead them to your website, but you gotta get them hooked in the first 3 seconds. I'm studying HiSmile's ads in here, which HiSmile, by the way, is a king in creatives. So study their creatives, even if you're not selling the same product. HiSmile is doing great in the creatives, they're crushing it there. But let's say I want to sell portable blenders. I mean, I already found the example brand, which is called BlendJet, of course. I can just go to BlendJet, look what kind of creatives they're running, use a strategy to find which creatives are doing well for them, which I explained before. And I can just look at what kind of videos they are running. Let's say I want to look at a video, for example, this one. I can just look, meet the portable blender. And like I said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If this particular angle or creative is working for them, of course, don't copy it, but we can recreate it and run it with our own product, right? So make good use of Facebook ad library because it's stuffed with value. And I promise that I would dive deeper into the second way of creating content, which is doing professional shoots. Like I said, I've done the first way, which is creating UGC. And I've also used the second way, which is professional camera shoots with a cameraman and having a whole setup there. So that's what I'm gonna show you in here. This one was on a sort of roller coaster bridge. We also did a crazy World Cup shoot there. Turned out very nice. This is one of them. We also have one here in Dubai, as you see in the front of the Burj Khalifa, which also turned out very, very nice. And another one I did in Amsterdam, which is also very nice, with a cameraman, professional freestyler was there. Obviously with my products, I'm not using a studio, but the studio was outside, so we had to hire the location, and I had to hire a cameraman, I had to hire the freestyler, so it cost a lot. I mean, from my experience, doing these kind of shoots with a studio and everything costs approximately 1 to 4K. If you hire professional models, it's gonna cost a bit more, but generally you can minimum count on 1K, or you gotta film it with your own iPhone, of course. But then it's more called UGC and not a professional shoot. And from my experience, I've obviously tried both. I've tried UGC and I've also tried these professional shoots. And what has worked best for me and what I see working best for other brands are mostly UGC. So that's a big pro, of course, because UGC isn't that expensive to get, because I'm gonna show you in a cheat sheet in a minute how you can easily get UGC content creators, and anyone can create UGC. I mean, you can just use your iPhone and create UGC yourself as a model. You can ask your friend to create UGC. You just have to get a product there and create content. At the end of the day, it's just studying other people's ads and try to recreating it in the best possible efficient way. So as I promised, here's the cheat sheet with a content outreach guide. This one is going to be packed with value. I mean, I spent a lot of time into creating it. Over the 4 years that I've been e-commerce and I've done well over 7 figures per month with the brand. Basically, I am showing my whole blueprint in here, how I find content creators and how I contact them. So basically, I would always DM the content creators on Instagram. Obviously, before I showed you a way how to find content creators on TikTok. But please remember, from my experience, they never respond on TikTok. So what I would do, if you're on TikTok, you see a content creator, go on their profile, and there's always an Instagram icon in there, right? In their profile. Just tap on their Instagram icon and go to their Instagram and DM them on Instagram, because they never respond on TikTok. So you're probably thinking right now, what should I say then? Well, over the years that I've been e-commerce, I've seen that these 2 sentences work the best. It's not a complete email saying, hey, we are this and this company based here, and we saw you creating this content, it is great, and we want you to do this. I want you to sell your soul for our company. No, it's pretty easy, just 2 sentences which have worked best for us, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. So the first sentence which I always send to content creators is just collab with a question mark. They always respond. Of course, if you're DMing Kim Kardashian, she's probably not gonna respond with collab, but I'm talking about decent content creators which have a decent following or small content creators. And the second way is, hey, you can put their name in there. What is your email for business? This one always works as well. So the goal of a DM conversation is to get their contact info and to get them out of the DMs. The number would be best. Text with them can be WhatsApp once you have their number. It's the same when you're DMing a girl. Their DM is flooded and you're not getting any attention on there. I mean, you need to get out of the DMs, get their number. If you have their number, you're exclusive with them on WhatsApp. Most of the times it's sort of a filter, right? The DM is flooded, especially when you're DMing a girl. If a girl content creator, her DM is probably flooded as well. But you want to get her WhatsApp or her number so you can text with them, which is the next filter where you have more attention and it's more personal. If they have a big following, they usually have a manager/management. You will need their email/number, but be ready to pay big bucks. This is what I've experienced before. Especially when you're just starting out, don't target the ones with big following. Just go for the micro influencers, which are smaller. That they're smaller doesn't mean that they don't create good content. One of my best ads, which I've done millions of dollars of revenue with, are just for micro influencers. Big following doesn't equal very good results. Please remember that. If your company profile's Instagram is small, try contacting them through your personal profile. If that one is even worse, use a company profile and just ask their email for business. You can also just DM them with collab, question mark. Most influencers/content creators are more hungry for money than you think. So respond for every possible dollar they can make. You gotta realize, I have seen it before as well with my experience, that some content creators, a lot of them actually, just create content for you by just sending them a free product. Literally all you have to do is ask their address, send them a free product and you get content back from them. It's just very important that you give them good instructions of what you want or give them an example video. Or what you also could do is just send them your competitor's example video and ask them to recreate this. That's even better. I mean, the whole blueprint is already there. But my point is, most influencers are more hungry for money than you think. If you knew most of these Instagram influencers, their income, you will be surprised because they're not making as much as you think. Here are some questions which you can ask them. Which country are you based? Who films your videos? And if it's you, do you film your videos with iPhone or with professional camera? Can you edit your videos yourself? Or do you have someone editing your videos? Also a very important note. What do you usually charge and on what basis? So you can get their price. And of course, you can negotiate a price if you think it's too high. And if it's decent, then of course go for it. Once a content creator is good, get them on an agreement/contract to make videos every week/month for your brand. This way you don't have to look for creators forever. And I want to emphasize on this point, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a hamster wheel forever where you have to find new content creators, reach out to them, ask their price, get their WhatsApp. I know it's a lot of effort. So that's why our goal is to get a couple of winning content creators and just make all of our ads with them. You do gotta realize, you just need one content creator who can deliver you videos every month or every week. And that person already has your products. They know what works. You can just go all in on that angle. That brings me to my last point. Every brand has different content which works for them. It's no one size fits all. So find winning angles and go all in on them once you have the first. You do gotta realize, every brand has its own winning angles which work for them. I mean, for my sports balls, freestylers, for example, work well. UGC content creators work also well, but it's very different for a brand. For example, if you're selling teeth whitening products, then you got these girls, or you're selling clothing, is also very different. So there's no one size fits all in there. Basically, the solution is just to test everything out. You just want to test every angle out. If you're selling something, for example, if I'm selling portable blenders, I want to test out moms, dads who use our products, but I would also want to test out Gen Z or millennials who are going to the gym, more the younger TikTok audience who use our products on a daily basis. But the most important part is when you find a winning angle, so you found your first winner, go all in on it. Just find 10 different content creators who want to can create something similar, and you already got the example video there. If you got a winner, you can literally just send this winner to all your other content creators, or ask your current content creator to create 5 more videos which are the same angle but different hooks. And again, I want to emphasize the importance that you can do millions of dollars with just one single creative. So please don't underestimate the ROI on this. So I'm sure you found this lesson valuable. I'll see you in the next module. Ciao. So welcome to module 4, mastering your own money-making machine. Yes, you heard it correctly. I called it your own money-making machine. So in this first lesson, I'll show you the channels we focus on that make us the most money. So let's dive right in. So the first point you see in there is Facebook ads. I put main next to it. The reason I put main next to it is because from my experience in e-commerce and every big brand I know out there, Facebook is still your main money printer. It's very fun to run ads on Google, TikTok, Pinterest, and you name it, but Facebook is still the biggest part of your revenue. The second one is Google. I put next to it one-time setup, because as you'll see later, Google doesn't require much time to set it up, and it's just a one-time setup and requires very little maintenance. But the thing is that people are going to look up your products on Google anyways. If you're running ads on other platforms like Facebook, people will look up your products on Google, and if you're not active on there, they'll buy from your competitors. The third one is TikTok ads and TikTok organic. One note on TikTok ads, you do gotta realize that with TikTok ads, your creatives get saturated really quickly. So you can have a winning creative, but it could get saturated like after 1 or 2 weeks. Just because the audience on TikTok is very different and the cost per 1,000 views are just much lower. That's one of the reasons, of course, that we still focus on Facebook. I see it everywhere on YouTube, everyone is saying TikTok ads is the next blue ocean, but believe me, most brands that are still making big money are still on Facebook. Of course, they're also active on TikTok ads, but just remember, like I said before, that your creative can get saturated really quickly. So you'll be in a hamster wheel forever, especially in the beginning, where you have to get new creatives in every week. And on contrary to that, on Facebook, you can literally get millions of dollars out of just one single creative. And the best thing is, you can do it for years. Also, I'm gonna do a complete separate lesson about TikTok organic. And believe me, this one is nowhere to be found on YouTube. Because if you look at our Bright Sport TikTok page, you'll see millions of views all organically. And me and my team in the past 4 years, we found a way to hack the algorithm. We can literally get tens of millions of views without much effort. And another benefit from TikTok organic is that it's all organic. I mean, you don't have to pay any ads for it, so the margins are crazy on it. So last but not least, we have influencers. I'm gonna show you what a powerful influencer can do to your brand. In my experience, this is a make or break for your brand. And one last very important note which I want you to remember before we close off this lesson. Don't fuck up your Facebook page and ad account. You will regret it in the future, believe me. Before you start advertising, please read through the Facebook policy, what you can advertise and what you cannot advertise on there. I would avoid sex products, COVID products, things like that. It's just not worth the risk. If you have a ban, you can DM me and I have a solution for you, but we do not want to play this game. We just want to use our own ad accounts, our own Facebook page, because that's the most scalable solution. And believe me, that's gonna save you a lot of headache in the future. So to close off this lesson, I'll show you how to make a Facebook page. Let's dive right in. So as you see on here, we're on facebook.com. I clicked on create a page, which should be very straightforward for you guys. And I clicked on category, I clicked on health food store because I think our blend-made product is a health food product. So on the description, I just put it out of my sleeve. Of course, I'm a copywriting god, but if you want to use ChatGPT, feel free to do so. But I didn't need it. I just freestyled something in there. But of course, just spend your time on it, but don't spend too much time on it. And just write something in there, which makes sense for your brand, of course. Then I click on create page. Blend-made was created. Here we have our page. I add a logo in there, and this logo I have made in Canva. I've showed you Canva before. It's a great tool, and I'm gonna show you as well how I made the logo on Canva. It's very straightforward. I made the logo before in the previous lesson. Now the page is made. I put the logo in there. I even added a banner, and done. This is our page. Basically, now we're ready to advertise, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll dive deeper into Facebook ads. Ciao! So lesson 2, Facebook Mastery, the testing phase. In this lesson, we'll dive deeper into Facebook and how you can set up your first ads to test your products. This one is going to be very interesting because I'll dive into the basics of Facebook ads and my insights on how you can run media buying. So let's not waste any time and let's dive right in. So first things first, we start in Shopify and we have to install the Facebook pixel on Shopify. Basically, I showed it in here. I speed up the video again. So if it goes too quickly, just feel free to pause it, but it's all very straightforward. So we download the Facebook app on the Shopify store.
It's loading a little bit, but it's very easy because Facebook has already laid out all the steps in there. You download the Facebook plan, the Facebook app, sorry, in the store. You connect your Facebook account, which we just made in the previous lesson. We just made our Facebook page, connect the Facebook page, which we made in the previous lesson, to the Shopify account and to the Facebook app within Shopify. And yeah, it's all pretty straightforward. Put this one on maximum. This is how you can create your pixel. So for the people that don't know what a pixel is basically your personal robot who tracks all your data on your website, and you can see where the sales are coming from. It's very important that your pixel is learning and that you know where the sales are coming from. Your pixel has to be trained so they know which audience they have to target. For example, if you're selling dog products, your pixel is going to be trained to target people who potentially have dogs. And the pixel is going to get better and better the more you get sales. So there you click on create pixel, and then we have our pixel. Agree to terms and conditions and submit for review. And then you probably have to wait for a minute, but you have to be patient on that. So once you've set up this pixel in your Shopify store, we can now start with our media buying. So here in front of me, we have the business manager, which I just made for BlendMate. If you don't know how to make a business manager, just go to business.facebook.com and you already have the page. You just have to create a business manager, very easy. And here we are creating our very first campaign. I clicked on sales as our campaign. You always want to select sales. If you're selling physical products, set sales as the goal. We put our campaign name in there. I called it BlendMate with a dash with USA brought CBO. You're gonna learn about all these terminologies in a minute, so don't worry about it. So here we have Advantage Campaign Budget. It's basically what it means is a CBO. I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna put $100 on there. So you're probably asking right now, what is a CBO? A CBO is basically, it stands for Campaign Budget Optimization. Within Facebook, we have two ways to do media buying. We can do CBO, which is Campaign Budget Optimization, or we can do ABO, which stands for Ad Set Budget Optimization. I've tried both and both ways works. Basically a CBO is that you set the budget on the campaign level, and with the ABO you set the budget on the ad set level. There's also another course in Capital Club which dives very deep into Facebook, but I believe with the basics I'm teaching you here and with my insight, it's already sufficient to scale to $4 million months. Before we go further with Facebook media buying, I want to answer the question which I get a lot, is with how much budget do I have to start testing? And my basic answer to this question is that there's no one size fits all. It basically depends per person. You gotta realize, the more budget you have, the quicker you'll see results. If you have $5 budget per campaign and I have a $50 budget per campaign, that just means that I will see quicker results and I'll see quicker if it works or it doesn't work. If you're looking for a general guidance, I would start off with a $50 to $100 budget per day. That will be sufficient enough to test your products and know if it works or it doesn't work. So once we put the budget, we can proceed and we put an ad set name in there. I named it USA brought no interest. Basically, it's very simple. You can copy it. Here I'm gonna schedule a date on which the ads go live. I always put it on the next day at midnight. So that's pretty straightforward. You should put it there. Here we are arriving at the audience section. I leave this all open and here you can select the location. I selected United States because most of you guys are from the United States. But let's say you are from the Netherlands, you can start targeting Netherlands depending on your website. I'll dive deeper into this later, but Germany, Netherlands, Scandinavia are all very good countries to test. Of course UK as well, but United States is also a great country to test. Here I just leave it open. I leave everything open, no interest, no targeting. And here I want to pause the video real quick. So as you saw in my ad manager, I left everything open and I basically put no interest in there. I put no age restrictions. I put no language restrictions. And the only thing I put there was a country. The reason I put a country in there is of course that our store is going to be localized per language. But let's say if your store is English, you can target the United States, UK and every English speaking country. From my experience, native websites always work better. What do I mean with that? Let's say if you want to sell in Germany, then you need a German website in euros. If you want to sell in Scandinavia, for example Denmark, then you need a Danish store with Danish crowns. Native always works best, remember that. And obviously you can test in each country you want because with the agent I shared before, you can start scaling worldwide. It's just very dependent on how is your website structured and which language do you have on your website. And later in this course, in module 7, I'm gonna show you a way how you can structure your whole website to scale internationally without the bottlenecks. And that one is gonna be very, very valuable because I've struggled years with scaling internationally. and I finally found a solution for it. So stay tuned for that one. But to come back to my point, as you saw, I left everything open. I had no interest in there. I put no age restrictions. I just left everything open for Facebook to target. The reason I did that is because after iOS 14.5 update, Facebook media buying became very, very simple. Back in the days when I just started, you had to target interest, you had to target ages. But nowadays, after the iOS update, the best strategy I've seen, and I've seen the best results with media buying, is just basically no interest, broad targeting. I leave everything open for Facebook to decide. Because I want you to realize one very important point. Facebook is on your side. You two have the same interests. You want sales, they want sales. Because if you have sales, you will spend more on that platform. So stop seeing Facebook as your enemy. Of course, it can be your enemy if you can get banned. But I mean, if you don't have any bans, Facebook is on your side. So let's move on. Proceed to the creative side in here. Here you can name your creative something. I didn't name it anything, but you can connect your page to it, the page we made before. And also your Instagram account, you can also connect to it. I named the creative in there anyways, but you can connect your page and your Instagram account. I suggest you to do both. And here we can create an ad. Just know that I'm gonna get an ad from Google, and I'm just to show you how it works, but spend a lot of time on the creative. So here is where the magic happens. We are going to create a creative. I put an ad preview on there, and I added an image. As you saw, I am going to upload a creative I found from Google. So please remember, I found this one from Google, and I just put it in here as an example, but you have to put in more effort into your creative, which I'm gonna explain to you in a minute. But here I just wanted to show you how it works. Pretty simple, straightforward. But here is really where the magic happens. So please remember that. We put on the primary text. Of course, you have to put in some time in the copy. But I'm a copywriting god, like I said. I just put something out of my sleeve real quickly. But that's just a matter of testing in here. Your go-to blender for wherever you go. And that's basically what I put in there. Wait no longer and see why millions of people go for BlendMate. Of course, you can use ChatGPT for this. Pretty straightforward. And I was looking for a blender emoji in here and I couldn't find it, if I'm right. But feel free to take inspiration from other brands. Like I said before, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Look at the ad library, which I showed you before. What kind of creatives are other brands running for similar? What kind of ads are they using? Because if I'm right, I'm also going into the ad library right now because I couldn't find an emoji. I was looking for a food emoji, couldn't find it as well. But as you see, you can study other ads on the ad library and recreate something like that. Here I found a strawberry emoji from BlendJet and I put it in there. So spend most of your time working on creatives, studying other creatives from other brands and try to create winning ads. So let's quickly proceed. I'm gonna put a headline in there. I just put it out of my sleeve again. The must have. Again, if you put more time into this, I just want to show you how it works. But do realize that you can do millions of dollars with just one single creative. So here we proceed with the headline. I just made it up very quickly, very straightforward. Of course, put more time into this. On the call to action, I put a shop now. Always put shop now in there when you're selling physical products. That works the best. On the destination, there's a lot of debate about the destination, what kind of URL you put in there. But what I've seen work best is that you put your product link directly in there. I've seen, of course, if you have a clothing brand, you can put your collection page in there. But what has worked best for me and what I see work best for other brands is just directly putting your product link in there. When you've made your product page, you have made a beautiful website, all your time should be in this. Because most of your revenue will come out of these creatives. You just need one video to do millions of dollars. Please realize that. So of course, there's a possible scenario that your creatives that you want to test don't work. And you will burn money without getting any return. That's what happened in the beginning in my journey. My first creative didn't hit and I was just burning money and I was unprofitable. The big issue with e-commerce is that if your creatives don't hit, there are 1,000 things. What could be the issue? It could be a bug on your website. It could be that your add to cart is not working. It could be that you don't have the right payment methods. It could be that your website is not converting. It could be that your creative is just not appealing enough. It's just no one size fits all. But the best tip I can give you if your creatives don't work is just go through your whole funnel from a customer's perspective. click on the shop now from your creative, go to your website, click on add to cart, even do a test purchase and just check if everything is working fine. I always say try to find a fine balance between keep on trying and moving on. But please don't fall in love with your products. If you don't see results after a couple of $100 and you just know, okay, I don't see any potential in it anymore, just move on to the next product. Of course, if you really see potential in a product, like I saw with the balls, then you can keep on trying and adjust more and more. But just know that you will burn more and more money and that there's a risk that would never hit. In lesson 4 of this module, I dive deeper into some possible scenarios in your media buying. And to close off this lesson, I want to make something very, very clear to you. There is no secret media buying strategy that is gonna make you magically profitable. So again, if someone tells you he has a secret media buying strategy, don't believe him. And that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll go over how to set up your columns and also into the scaling. And that's where the real money is gonna be made. So see you in the next lesson. Ciao.